Hello, friends. Hope you're all doing well. How many times has it happened with you that you sit down to write an essay and your mind has suddenly gone blank? And no matter how hard you try or how hard you think, your mind just says, "No, I don't want to think about anything. I am too relaxed right now," or "I am too tensed right now." Has this happened with you? I'm sure it has. And this is exactly the dilemma that we all face when we are writing the essay, especially in the IELTS examination hall. And this is what we also fear, isn't it? So if you are afraid of writing essays, you need not be, because in this particular class, we are going to discuss how to generate ideas for any kind of topic that may come up in our IELTS exam. Okay. Now, the problem with most of us is that we start thinking too much. So, when we get a topic to write on, essay, we just start thinking what to write, what points should I write, what points will be good, what points may not be good. Relax. You don't need to think so much. Just understand one thing, that your IELTS exam is not asking you to write many points. All that you have to write is just one single point in every paragraph. That's it. One single point. And then, after you've written that one good point, you just have to expand on that point and explain that point. That's it. And I'm sure we all can write one point about each topic that we get. I'm sure we can do that. Okay, so just relax, let go of all that stress, and let's see how we can do that. Now, let's say we have a question which is some people say that self employment is better than a job in a company or an institution. That's your topic. And what do you have to do with this topic? You have to discuss both modes of work and give your opinion. Okay, so it's a discussion question where you have to discuss both the points. That's it. Now, what do I do? So, it will be very easy for me if I create two columns like this. On one side, I write self employment, and on the other side, I write jobs. Okay. Now, let me think about self employment. If I think about self employed, or a person who is self employed, Uh, what let me write one or two good points and maybe one or two negative points. That is if I find both positive and negative points. Okay. Sometimes you may find both and sometimes you may not. You may find just one. You may just find positives or you may just find negatives. Okay. So let's see what can I find if something good for a self-employed person. So if a person is self-employed, what is good about it? I think whatever I can think of is that he has the freedom to work by his own mind. Whatever he feels like he can do, and he is his own boss. Okay, I think this is the biggest plus point. Okay, but is there a negative point also? So now let's think of a negative point. Now, what's a negative point for a self-employed person? Well, if he loses business or if he has a great loss or if his business does not do well, then he is stuck with no money. He may not even have money to run his expenses or run his family. So this is the biggest negative point of being self-employed, right? That's it. So I've got one positive point and one negative point. So I'm going to write these down. Okay, that's it. I don't need anything more. All right. Now, you don't have to use both the points, the positive and the negative, in each of your paragraphs. It is just that we are jotting down points. We will later decide what we want to use. Now, let's go and start thinking on the job perspective. Now, for a person who's doing a job in a company, what do you think are good? What do you think is good about such a person or such a job? Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is that he has a job security and that he has a salary which will surely come by the end of the month, right? So he does not have to bother. He is not stressed about not getting enough business or whatever the other problems regarding business are. So that is one big plus point, that he has his job is very secure and that he will be getting a salary at the end of the month. Okay. Now, what about some negative points? Okay, so just like the self-employed person has freedom to work, this person who is in a job, he has some restrictions. Okay, he has certain timings to work. He has to work for maybe 8 hours or 9 hours a day. He cannot take time off. He may not get enough leaves as per his liking, and maybe he might be, of course, he will have to work under a boss. He's going to have somebody who is going to be working above him, right? So these are the negative points. So I'm going to write down these. All right. And after I have written this down, um, I am now quite prepared to start with my essay. Now, this entire thing that we have done just now, drawing off these two columns and thinking of what to write on each side, should not take more than 5 minutes. Even 5 minutes is a lot of time. Okay? So just relax, do this, and see if you can generate some good ideas. Now, I'm going to give you some questions and write down some ideas for those questions, and let's see how you fare. Okay, and I'll definitely reply to the first five of your answers, that is for sure. Okay, and the others I'll see if I can reply. I surely would like to. In the next video, we will see how to develop the ideas that we have generated in this episode. So keep waiting and keep watching. So that's all for today. Goodbye and good luck.